Hi everybody, it's Lacey. I am back. I do want to apologize just with the gaps in my videos and things. I'm just trying to get my spirit right. Just a confession to everybody, I have backslid on a few things, but just like David, just like Samson, just like everyone in the Bible, they had flaws and things, and I just want to be spiritually right before I start back being consistent in my spiritual messages and things. But despite I don't want to say getting off the path, because I talk to God every day. I pray every day. I still, ask for guidance. I still receive my dreams and visions and everything. It has not stopped. But as far as me being consistent to where I can deliver the messages accurately and get the complete revelation through, prayer and fasting and things, that's where I know that I'll fall short in regards to sharing it with you guys. But I do have messages, despite me kind of being out of alignment, I can share the spiritual insight that I've experienced multiple times to know that it's a fact. And this is in regards to spiritual sense. I've heard about how you can sense demons in people, but there's also a smell that comes with it when you're around a person that's battling a demon or is somehow attached to a demon. So there's two that I've identified. The first one is mentality, so mental illness. The people that have lost their self to something else, and essentially something else has taken over either their spirit or their mind. It's not 100% clear to me, but that is one of the spirits that I've identified, and it also comes with a smell. And the other spirit that I've identified is the spirit of gossiping, gossiping, and it comes with being messy. Why? Yeah, I'm sorry. I moved twice just so I could have some peace and record my videos. And look, why are you over here? Ended up driving off before I could record. But so the first scent, the spirit that's associated with mental illness, it has a dirty smell. So imagine if you were to get some clothes, right, and you were to damp it up or something with water, and you were to dig it up in dirt or something, and you leave it there for maybe a week or two or something, right? Mildew type smell, a dirt, dingy type smell. It's not washing your clothes consistently or taking care of yourself. I have people in my family that's dealing with mental health issues, but when I was doing rideshare a lot, there was this woman and this guy, which was her son, that got in my car. And so every time I picked up a passenger, I asked for covering, for God to cover me, because I don't know who's coming in my car. I don't know who they subscribe to. I don't know who they pray to. None of that. All I ask is that that I am covered while I'm driving them from point A to point B, right? So this family, this mom and this son got in my car, and I was nice, the same way that I always am. I'm always able to turn the mood if somebody gets in my car, because I'm very I can discern spirits. I can read the room and things like that. So I'm talking, and she's not really talking, and I'm kind of saying things to the mom, but the son is just flat out quiet. And so I smell that smell, right? It's a dingy, dirty, dirty hair, dirty clothes, poverty type smell. Not a homeless person type of smell where it's ugh, pee and all that. You know how homeless people can smell. It's not like that. It's not, someone sitting in urine or, those strong smells that a homeless person would have. This is specifically just neglect. Clothes, probably 2 or 3, maybe a week. No, not a week. Just dirty, It smells like it was in the dirt, like buried. Is something that I got the other day, which I know that witchcraft, from what I've learned watching other people that prophesy and things and share their knowledge of spirit of witchcraft and things, that people can bury things and bury people, quote unquote, by items that they know about the people, if that makes sense. Like, say if there's a girl that loves flowers and she's all, holly jolly, beautiful spirit, the witch person would like bury her favorite flowers, their favorite color, like burying her essence, right? And that's something that was brought to mind that made me want to kind of push out this video, because maybe it's associated, I don't know, maybe mental health is associated with witchcraft that involves their essence being buried, and then essentially the demonic presence, whatever that stench that I smell is, taking over. I don't know, that's just what I'm getting right now. But the smell is very dirty, dingy, almost like mildew, not being taken care of, neglect. If you could just sense what that smells like, that's the smell that comes with it. But anyways, back to the family. I smelled that smell, but I didn't say anything, right? So before I even got to the location, something in my spirit says, this boy is the person that was behind me. The son had a mental health issue. We're driving. It was a long drive. It was probably about between 15 to 20 minutes, right? I normally, if they're not the type of people that likes to communicate, I have music playing, which is typically lo-fi. It's just a common medium. So we're driving and we pull up to a place. It's a behavioral health facility. So that was my second interaction. And then my third interaction, I think that was it. It just, the mental health issues that I had within my family, and then experienced that in the car. I just put two and two together. So the second scent that I smell that's associated to a specific demon or like a demonic presence is associated with the spirit of like gossiping and a monitoring spirit. So a monitoring spirit has a like raw, like a decaying meat smell. Like it smells like so you know how like women, we get something called BV, right? The bacterial vaginosis or something like that, right? So it's basically a bacterial infection that makes you stink down there. So it's something similar to that, the smell, but it's also like a rotting flesh smell. I've smelt it on a lot of women, actually. I've smelt it on, I'm gonna just say a lot of women across different walks of life, okay? Just think of every aspect that the average person would maneuver in, going to the store, jobs, family events, and, So I've smelt this specific smell, and each person that had that smell had a gossiping spirit and was also profusely sharing information without thinking it through. These are also the type of people that would probably be doing witchcraft on the low, meaning like look into like your birth chart, doing tarot card readings on your life, either their self or getting them done. Just using spiritual practices to look into their life because they want to be nosy or like one up you or lock in on your essence and all of this. A monitoring spirit is not only gossiping, it's a person that looks into the life of someone else and then actually go out of their way to utilize that in the waking life, if that makes sense. But it's definitely associated with gossiping is definitely associated with being a portal to monitoring spirits in order for, you know, whoever it is that they're attacking to gain insight on their life. If you're not the type of person to believe in this stuff, then this probably isn't the channel. This is all about spirituality. I've never been, super spiritual. I've never, spoke like this or anything like this. This is from direct experience with spirituality and knowing the good and the bad side of it. This is coming from experience and true knowledge. And the way that I know it's true is because blindly, when I did my research on spirituality, there was so many stories that were similar to mine that it can only be true, and it can only be one source pertaining to this, if there's thousands of videos on the same exact thing with the same exact experiences. But somehow there's always like some drama or something going on the back end when it comes to them, kind of acting innocent but really messy, and then backtracks like they don't know what's going on. But if you actually observe these type of people, a monitoring spirit is somebody that is diarrhea at the mouth when it comes to everything. They have no regard. They have no safeguard when it comes to the information that you provide. They don't care about how you would possibly feel. It releases endorphins or like excitement in them to share information about other people. And I've noticed that these specific people have a rotting smell on their bodies. I don't know if that's something that, everybody would smell. I don't know if that's my specific gift, but I've connected the dots, and I've found that that's what's associated with that specific spirit. There might be more that come, along, but that's just the observation that I've made so far. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like and subscribe, and see you guys later. Okay, so God just reminded me of other instances regarding the dirty smell pertaining to mental illness. So there was people that, family, friends, like I said, people in my family in the past that were around me that had, anger issues, substance abuse issues. There was like a family friend that used to just live at one of my family members' house that was kind of just off to the side, that would have like this dirty smell. And I think that he was being taken care of by my family member because he was around for like decades. Like he was pretty old, but he had like this dirty smell. Like it's a distinctive smell, and I really hope that the way that I explained it made sense. But another thing about this spirit too is that they would get aggressive with me. So just to share like a quick story, because I don't want to make this long. I was like at my peak of enlightenment, and I was out doing Lyft. I was, hustling and things, and I was out here. It was about 3 to 4 in the morning, and I went to Winco. Obviously I needed groceries, so I went to Winco because they're open 24 hours. I walk in Winco, you don't have people to bag up your groceries. You have to bag it up yourself. So when I walked in, mind you, it's 3 to 4 a.m. So, I mean, who the ones that's up. It's the hustlers or, the people that's out here. And so there was one of those people that was out here, and he was bagging up his groceries, right? So that saying, real recognize real? Well, spiritually, a spirit can recognize another spirit, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you're on opposing teams, right? Which is why I'm not going to go there. So I walked in the first, and mind you, I was enlightened because I think I wasn't eating. I didn't eat for like, I don't know, maybe like 4 to 5 hours. So I was fasting, which heightened spiritual sensitivity. I walk in and I automatically sensed him, but he also sensed me while he was bagging up his groceries. And this was somebody that was on drugs. He was enlightened in the negative aspect. Pupils dilated. You could just see all in his face he was dealing with something. He looks directly at me, And I promise you, he was either grunting or growling or just making like these faces that were so like disturbed that I walked in. Mind you, it was 3 to 4 a.m. Mind you, it was 3 to 4 in the morning, so there was nobody else. And not me trying to antagonize him or anything, but I just wanted to be sure that he was actually looking at me and not just staring into space thinking about something. So I walked in his direction to go around in the next area behind him, like the register, because the walk-in is typically blocked off when it's that late, and you can only like come in and out by walking through like the cashier area. So I didn't walk past him, but I walked to the next cashier section that was next to his, just to see if, I don't know, maybe I was tripping or whatever, but his eyes followed me. So he was looking at me angrily for just walking into the store, but my spirit perceived that demonic presence that was in him was bothered by me. And this is why when people say, oh, I had an ex that was battling demons, he saw how pure and nice I was and how sensitive, whatever, it's very true. People can sense the thing that they're missing or that they want without acknowledging even the fact that they're dealing with a demon or that they're dealing with a demonic presence or, you know, a generational curse or whatever. And a lot of the times this is why abuse and things happen, because their demons are completely disturbed by your sense of purity, and it's almost like a defense mechanism. And this is why it's important to know your spiritual power. Unfortunately, it does escalate, you know, in some situations, given like domestic violence and things, and why people, you know, get hurt. But you really have to trust. When they say trust your gut, that means you need your spiritual discernment needs to be heightened. And the only way that you will have spiritual discernment in a way that can be helpful is through the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ. Yesterday, I was at Native New Yorker, just sitting in the parking lot. I like to make food review videos and things, so I'll just make my little chicken review video, okay? And then this guy walked past my car. I'm thinking he probably is looking at me because, oh, she cute, you know, whatever. No. At first, I didn't notice it. He came back out. He had like a grocery bag, which I thought maybe he got his chicken or whatever, right? So I was right next to the handicap, whatever. So he was kind of leaning on that handicap pole, literally in front of my car. And then he starts yelling randomly at the sky, like randomly looking over here, yelling at the top of his lungs right in front of my car, but then periodically looking at me. Spirits antagonize me for some reason. I'm not sure why. You know, it's something that I definitely picked up a lot lately, and that I've noticed a lot. By default, you know, I'm a very strong person. I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard for me to let stuff like that slide. Like, who you think you is, like, trying to, you know, intimidate me, or like pick like you not as, you know, saved as you think you are, and all this stuff like that. I've been getting so much of that, like really trying to force me to go back to a place that I came from, that I grew from, you know what I'm saying? So that was a lot of, and still a lot of what I'm dealing with currently, like out of the woodworks, which is something that I definitely have been praying about to get more insight on why. So yeah, it was that, and just a lot of things where these demonic entities are coming after me in like an antagonizing way to get me out of character. And what was another one? There was another instance. I think that might have been it for now. Yeah, I think that's it for now. But yeah, that's about it. Just to sum up, just some of my observations, some of the things that I'm going through spiritually. You know, it's all good. I just ask for prayers, and just keep me in your thoughts. And please like, share, subscribe if you're new. Look at some of my old videos if you're new. You know, check those out. But the goal and the plan is definitely to pick up within the next few weeks. But yeah, you guys have a blessed day. It's Saturday. You know, make the most of it. Bye.